Good afternoon. Today on the bench we have a SBE27CB or Sidebander IV 23 channel, which I recently picked up on the auction site. What we've done on this radio is generally cleaned it up. It needed a tune and alignment. It was not TXing when received it or receiving. What we did was went through, there were several breakages within the power cord, so we fixed that. Also went through the microphone itself and went over and lubricated the switch. Now the tasks that were needed on this radio, if we look at the top board, the front half of the oscillator and PLL side were relatively okay. So this area required pretty much nothing except just a couple of reflows and solder here and in here and here. As you can see, it's actually a really nice radio. Now this is the area where we had nearly all of our issues. So we desoldered pretty much the whole board and reflowed the circuit board. As you can see, it's a lot neater than what it was. Whilst this radio hasn't been hacked or played around with its standard, it had issues in the past. We can see over here and also a bit over here. All right, so once I reflowed that, resoldered, the TX came back, the RX came back. It was all really good. Okay. Now, what I did, another area that we had issues with, these slugs were all cracked, obviously from somebody had been there at some point. Replaced those, replaced this, and these are all your RF power alignment areas. Also replaced this slug as well. Replaced this cap. I think there's two, yep, all the ones with an orange top on them I've marked. There's actually another one underneath there and one there. I'm going to go through and order more capacitors and replace all of it in here. Okay, the other thing that we did do was, this was completely burnt out because of obviously an overpowered light at one point. So we went in and put the low voltage LEDs in, white LEDs. As you know from factory, these things look yellow. So it's a tiny bit of a nice face up lift on the radio. And this radio also, it came with its own, with the box and instructions. The case looks pretty much new. And if we turn it over, we can see the condition of that. Okay, I'll show you what's happened after an alignment. We're just on AM, so AM, we've got just under 5 watts, all up, swing to around 7, put it into sideband mode, upper sideband, all up, all up, all up, all up, and it swings to 20 watts. All the other SBEs that I've got here, after a retune, they swing to between 17 and 18 watts. So it's in the ballpark, and I expect it's probably capable of a bit more than that with the rest of the capacitors changed. But it wasn't doing that before the capacitors. Anyway, all right, so AM. Yep. We're on channel 23, so we're at 255. we go down to channel 1. Yep, bang on 26965. 4 watts out. These things suffer from sticky mode switches. All up. Just bear with us. Okay, so we're on channel 1. All up. All up. Go to channel 23. All up. All up. And there we go. Really nice radio. There's still got some we've still got some issues with the relay. It's obviously sat for a long time, and I'm just leaving it on the bench to cycle for a couple of days, get hot, get cold, and warm parts up. So there you go. A nice SBE Sidebander IV. Compared it to my TS2000 there, and the sensitivity on these things are pretty damn good. And even if you compare to, I've done comparisons to these, the GEs, and it's very difficult to hear the smallest station. So it's quite an interesting receiver in these. So it's all good. When I have more, I'll share more. Thank you.